All right, let's do another thinking skills tricky question. Question 6. Comment down below for me if you found this one a little bit tricky. Question 6. Let's do it. All right, we've got Olivia and Jake. Okay, sure. They're discussing the merits of a newly released movie that has gained immense popularity among audiences, but has received mixed reviews from critics due to its cliche storyline. All right, the critics are just bitter. This movie is great since it's so popular and is earning millions. All right, so what's the flaw? Let me check the poll. All right, most people have said C. Let's have a look. So guys, before I even show you the answer options, okay, before I even show you anything, what do you think the problem is here? Is something the best just because a lot of people like it? No. Who can give me a real life example of something that is bad for you, but a lot of people still do it? Who can give me a real life example? Anyone want to think about it on a real life example? Yeah, fast food. That's a really good one. Fast food. How many people eat fast food? Pretty much everyone, right? Like everyone's had fast food at some point, right? A lot of people eat it. Does that mean it's the best food ever? No, of course not. All right, what's another example? Yes, smoking is very bad for you, okay? Never, ever, ever do it, guys. Take my advice. Don't do it. Very bad for you. Do a lot of people do it? A lot of people still do it. It's still really bad for you, but a lot of people still do it. So just because something is popular, that doesn't mean it's good. Okay? It doesn't mean it's good for you. So that's the problem. Yeah, sure, the movie might be great, but it's not because it's popular. So which answer option is that? He thinks all popular movies are critically acclaimed. Well, actually, he just never said that. Right? Did he ever say that? No. He just said this movie. So I can't go with that. Okay. Jake believed that the critics should always agree with the audiences. Again, he never actually said that. So these are just assumptions because he literally never said this. Okay, next. Jake equates financial success with quality. Exactly. Just because it's popular doesn't mean it's good. Right? Again, many things are popular, but just they're not that good. Have you guys ever seen like a really annoying song? Comment down below for me if you've ever heard of a very annoying song before. That's like super popular and everyone's playing it. You know what song I think is really annoying? I don't know if you guys remember. I think it's called Dance Monkey. Let me just Google it real quick. Dance Monkey. Yeah, do you guys remember it? That Dance Monkey song? I hate that song. I hate it. But you guys know how popular that song got? Let me just see how many views does this song have? How many views? Over 2 billion views on YouTube. 2 billion! Is that good? Is that song good in my opinion? No, I hate it. Okay, but it's very popular. So there's another example. All right, last one. Jake assumes that money is irrelevant. He actually does like quite literally the opposite. So that's why the answer is C. Does that clear things up, everyone? Yeah? Does that clear things up? Yeah? Is that all good? All right, fantastic. So question 6 done. Who wants to do some maths questions from the tricky ones as well? Do you guys want to do some maths ones? Yeah? All right, let's do it. Let's have a look. So we did question 1 last week, if you remember. Let me find some more tricky ones. All right, question 2, people struggled with. Let's have a look at it together, okay? And again, if you guys have any questions, anything that's not making sense, just let me know, all right? Let's do it. The National Council voted on 2 resolutions last week. 2/3 of the members voted in favor of the first resolution. Okay, sure, no problem. Among those members who voted in favor, 1/5 voted in favor of the second. How many people did in favor of, or did not do in favor of both? So first of all, you got to read the question carefully. Comment down below for me if you missed this word. Anyone missed this? All right, let's go through it together. Don't worry if you don't get it yet. Let's do it first and tell me if you're still confused, guys, okay? So first of all, how many people are in favor, okay, of the first resolution? How many people are in favor of the first? So let me put in the correct color. Who can tell me what fraction is in favor of the first? Hint, it says it in the text. Yeah, 2/3. 2/3 of the members. Okay, now how many people are in favor of both the first and the second? It's 1/5 of those who were in favor of the first. So guys, anytime you see the word of, you're multiplying, okay? So it's going to be 1/5 times 2/3. Does that make sense so far, everyone? Is that okay? All right, let's go solve this together. So you're going to do 1 times 2, that's 2. And then you're going to do 5 times 3, which is 15. So 2 out of 15. Now the question says, how many people were not in favor of both? So if 2/15 was in favor of both, then the rest is not in favor of both. So what's the rest? Let's take the total, 15 out of 15, and minus how many were in favor of both. What are you left with? 13 out of 15. Does that make sense, everyone, now? Does that clear things up for the people who are confused? Yeah, is that okay? Any questions about this? Any confusion? All good? Perfect. So when you see the word of, that pretty much means you multiply. Got it? Now, why is this the people who are not in favor of both? Let me explain. Think of it as like a pie, right? Okay. You've got how many people? 2/3. Okay. So 2/3 are in favor of the first. And then these people are not in favor of the first. Okay. So this is how it was initially, right? And then you had 1/5 of those who were already in favor of the first. So you already had this, okay? You already had this green part. And then you also took, right, 1/5 of those who were in favor of both. So say this much. This much is in favor of both. So who's in favor of neither, or not necessarily of neither, who's just not in favor of both? These people here. These people are not in favor of both. Okay? Now, they might be only in favor of the second. They might be only in favor of the first. They might be in favor of neither of them. So not favor of both just means you don't have both. You could have the first only, you could have the second only, or you could have neither. Does that make more sense now, guys? So you just have to understand what the wording means. Is that okay now, everyone? Is that crystal clear? Yeah? All good, everyone? All right, perfect. Who wants to do some more? Next tricky question, okay? Next tricky one. Let me just find where my list of tricky ones is. All right, question 3. Andrew spent a total of 3 days completing a task. All right, so let's do it. First day, second day, and third day. He did 2/5 on the first day. Then he did 2/3 of the remaining. All right, so what? Oh, wait, is it not loading? Oh, okay. 1 sec, guys. Can you see it now? Let me just move this to the other side of my screen. Does that work now? Okay, who wants me to read it one more time? Why was that happening? So annoying. Okay, I'll read it one more time, everyone, okay? From the beginning, because for some reason, the iPad hates us today. All right, Andrew spent a total of 3 days completing a task, okay? So, 2/5 of the task on the first day. Day 1, 2/5. And then he has 2/3 of the remaining done on the second day. So guys, we must find the remaining. Okay, what's the remaining after the first day? You could tell me in the chat. What's the remaining? What's the remaining? If you've done 2/5, what's left? 3/5. Fantastic. So if you've already done 2/5, 3/5 is left. And now we can find what happened on day 2. So on day 2, it was 2/3 of the remaining. Okay, so let's now do that. 2/3 of the remaining. That is 2/3 of 3/5. Does that make sense, everyone? All right, perfect. And now what can I do? See you later. The 3's cancel, and I get 2/5. And the question is, what did he do on the third day? Okay, well, on day 1, he did 2/5. On day 2, he did 2/5. So far, he's done 2/5 plus 2/5, which is how much? 4/5. All right, guys, so what's left for the very last day? what is left? What is left for the very last day? What's left, everyone? Good. What's left is just 1/5. 1/5 for the last day. That's it. Any questions? Anyone confused? Anything that is not making sense? And yeah, guys, I'm just moving the iPad screen sharing around my laptop because it just keeps cutting out. So that's why it keeps doing that. Okay. So apologies for that. Is that making sense, everyone? Any questions? You guys are good? All right. Who wants to do one more question from the homework? Yeah, and we'll do one more question. All right, let me try to find us a really tricky one, okay? So, which one do you guys think is really, really, really tricky? Let me know. Or are you guys all chill with the homework now? You're chill? All right, cool. Let's do today's stuff then. Let's go. I am very happy to move on to today's stuff. Let's do it. Okay. So, guys, what are our topics for today? Any guesses? Let's start off with our thinking skills topic, which actually is going to be pretty fun. Evaluating evidence. Some of you guys hate it, okay? But you got to know it. It's all those strengthening, weakening questions. Yeah? I know you guys don't like it. I know it. But you know that it's very important, right? You guys know it comes up all the time in selective. It comes up all the time in trial tests. So we got to work on our skills for it, okay? So before we get started, the strategy is super simple for this, okay? You just got to do the same thing for every single question. I am going to give you a text, okay? And then I'm going to ask you, which statement best strengthens or best weakens the argument? Right? Now, you have to find two things. You guys already know what I'm going to ask. What are the two things you're going to find? Two things. What are they? Yeah. Oh my goodness, did you guys see that? Did you guys see my balloons? When I do this, sometimes it does balloons. There you go. Pretty good. And I think when I do this, it does some other thing. Fireworks. Cool, right? Yeah, fireworks for thinking skills. All right. So, as I was saying, two things you got to find. Okay? You got to find the conclusion and you got to find the reason. Now, first of all, I need you to understand why this is important. Okay? You need to know how to strengthen or weaken. And for that, you need to know what the conclusion is. So, if you know what the conclusion is, then you know that to strengthen means that you have to agree with it, okay? And to weaken means you have to go against it. Yeah, does that make sense, everyone? Cool. Sounds pretty simple, right? Now, remember, you might personally disagree with whatever they give you. That's fine, okay? It doesn't matter if you personally disagree with it. You must stick to the side that the text wants you to take. Has everyone gotten that in their brains? So you know what they do, guys? Low key, the people that write the test, they're kind of evil. Okay, they kind of are. They are. Number one, because they just keep making the test harder for you guys. So they are pretty evil for that. Number two, because they don't actually give you a lot of time to do the test. As you guys know, you only have 40 minutes for thinking skills. That's pretty hard, isn't it? Like, imagine how much easier it would be if you had an hour. Wouldn't it be so easy? Who agrees? That'd be so chill, right? If we had an hour. Like, how good would life be? You could check your answers, you could take your time, it'd be awesome. But unfortunately, 40 minutes, 40 questions is how it's going to be. Okay? And number three, they try to trick you. They put traps everywhere. The people who write it, they put traps everywhere. Okay? So, you gotta be looking out for that. All right, so that's the conclusion. Now, here's the problem. Because they put so many traps, okay, because they're so evil, what they do is they actually put multiple correct answers in the answer options. That's literally what they do, guys. They put multiple correct answers. So how can you pick the best one? You can only pick one, right? You can't pick all of them. There might be many answers that strengthen. There might be many answers that weaken. So what you're going to do is you're going to check the reasoning of the text. And you must pick whatever matches the line of reasoning of the text the best, okay? That's what you're going to do.